Hello, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood INFP, and I guess I could say welcome, UMB timers. Is that does that work? I'm not entirely sure, but today, today, we are going to be looking at somebody who I've been procrastinating on, and don't ask what was in there. And that is, of course, ESFJs, as the title suggests, and the thumbnail and the everything. And okay. So, this is probably one of the harder ones for me to nail down in an unbiased fashion, so I will try my utter best to do them justice. There's always a type out there that people will have an extraordinarily difficult time explaining. And for some reason, for me, that happens to be the ESFJ. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know the reason, but that's a story for a different time. So, ESFJs are what some people would consider the caretakers, the mom friend of the group, or the mom of the group. Oftentimes, they are seen in cliques and groups of people. They care about societal norms being upheld. They care about people doing what is right. They care generally a whole lot about the group, what the group is doing, and of course how to I want to say help the group or be there for the group. They're very hands-on. That's the word I was looking for. They are very hands-on people. Not in the same way that an ISTP or ESTP is hands-on. No, they're more hands-on when it comes to people, groups around them, charities even, where they are in a system, how they can help a person improve. They are very group-related people. These are also the people who way back when, in high school, could have been part of the cheerleading squad. They could have been part of the, I want to say, whatever the popular girl groups were back then. There's a word for it, but they would have been part of that. At least some of them would have been part of that. A lot of them would have also been valedictorians. Did I say that right? Valedictorians? Maybe it's the drink. Anyways, they have this intense desire to please. That could even be their parents. That could be what society expects of them. That could be what their group expects of them. But in turn, they will also expect things from the people who expect things of them. They will expect things of their parents. They will expect things of the group. They will expect things of various different people. And they will be quite irate if you break any one of those rules. They do not like having various rules broken, unlike the ISFJ or the ISTJ. Their rules are more based on a kind of collective group. For them, it is the group first and then other people, but these are also the people who are extraordinarily friendly, sometimes even very bubbly, very sometimes cheerful. This isn't all the time, and of course, on like the more negative side of things, they are they can be very gossipy, very busybody, very micromanaging, very in your face in the kind of way that you may not like them to be. So in other words, very Karen. Just gonna throw that there. They can be that way. Not saying that all ESFJs are. It's just they can be. They can be the person that goes and says, I would like to see your manager, or if you get an order wrong and somebody in the group is unhappy that it's wrong, they can very much be that person who goes up and says, hey, you got my order wrong, and then they go and bring you the right order. But they are also very thoughtful people. ESFJs can look across their friend group, their family, everybody, and know exactly what kind of gifts they like. They will know exactly what kind of person you are. They know exactly how you kind of act, and they will try and, shall we say, move things around so that everything fits, so that everybody is able to have a sense of togetherness, so to speak. All while, of course, fulfilling their own goals. And this, it doesn't really matter where the ESFJ is and what kind of business they are in, because there are a lot of artistic ESFJs, and there are a lot of, like, I guess, non-artistic ESFJs. They're very much like every other MBTI type out there. They can have virtually any job. Typically, though, the jobs that ESFJs usually end up in are ones that deal with groups of people. So, teachers, daycare workers, I want to say youth leaders, charity workers, in the food drive. They're there to help humanity in some way, shape, or form. But they, of course, can be very emotional as well due to being feelers. But even though feelers have nothing to do with being emotions, it's complicated because there is emotions involved in being a feeler, but being a feeler doesn't mean that it's directly focused on emotions, if you get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say when I say emotions is that they are more emotionally open about what they are feeling. Unlike, say, a Phi user who is emotionally closed, an ESFJ will be very open about their problems. They will want to talk about their problems. They will want to talk about what they're feeling. They will want to talk out why they're feeling it. They're going to want to talk out any facet of their emotion, whether it be sadness, happiness, anger. They're going to want to tell somebody about it. And they are going to want to hear about your emotions as well. They're going to want to hear if you're feeling bad and why are you feeling bad. And they're going to want to talk to you through it. And it's all very annoying for me as an INFP when the ESFJ tries to do that. Not that I've met many, but the ones who I have been, my emotions are mine, ESFJ. You cannot have them. So, moving on, because they care so much about other people and are essentially people pleasers, is that the word that I want to go with? Yeah, people pleasers. Because they can be and are oftentimes people pleasers, they can also get hurt when people take too much from them. However, a more savvy ESFJ may know how to manipulate that to their advantage, because they know who's around their group so well. They may know who's around their organization really well. They are the ones who will want to know a lot about you. Remember, these are people who enjoy gossip. These are people who enjoy small talk. These are people who enjoy hearing about your day, hence the small talk. These are people who enjoy learning more about what kind of person you are. These are people who are very much wanting to get up in your business. That can be both good and bad, or positive and negative, whichever way you want to go. Seriously, what did I put in this? Continuing on. So, because of this sense of the ESFJ, should you piss one off, they may chew you out. That is definitely one way that they'll do it. But more often than not, more than I want to say any other type out there, they will turn you into a social pariah. They will make everybody hate you. They will befriend your parents. They will befriend your friends that are outside of the group. And they will just... When I say that there are some nasty people who can spread some nasty rumors that never go away, ergo ESFJ. Usually something has happened that has caused them to do that, if it's not, them bullying you and being mean in general, which Generally, if they've been brought up in a good surrounding, they won't be. Now, if you've pissed one off, like I was saying as an example, like just cause them to snap, if they like you enough, you'll get away with the chewing out, as I mentioned before. If they despise your ever living guts, they will go through intense pain to essentially turn you into like the worst person ever. And that's going to not live down until you move to another state or country where you have to meet completely new people where, you know, they can't get to you because now all your close friends and family are entirely against you because they are sweet and they're making you look like the devil. Just some weird manipulative power that they have in utilizing their feed to make everybody like them and not like you. So, in that sense, don't piss off an ESFJ. Now, this isn't, once again, always the case. It is usually only reserved to the most extreme of moments, and it's not always used. It's just used by those who, shall we say, won't forgive you for whatever atrocious deed that you've done. This can include things in high school where emotions are running rampant and puberty is going crazy. And this is probably where you'd get the biggest example of this, I want to say, where they just turn the entire school against you and, oh, look, now you got to transfer schools because of what you did to piss them off. So usually, in some sense, in that way, people generally might want to avoid the ESFJ if they know they're that type of person. But most of the time, they will try and please keep the group together. And of course, heaven forbid you, should you want to do anything separate from the group and want to do your own thing, because they won't let you, or then they will let you and they'll just, you know, look down at you and toss you down a few pegs in the, I guess, social hierarchy. Speaking of social hierarchies, ESFJs are huge on social hierarchies. They may not seem it, they may not look it, but they are huge on social hierarchies, probably due to their second function. Because they are huge on social hierarchies, everybody in a group will have a position. There will be a biggest position and there will be a lowest position, simply because in society there's always a hierarchy. You can all be equal, but there's still going to be that hierarchy, and that is essentially what an ESFJ bases a lot of the stuff that they do around, is that social hierarchy. Moving on, they will often be there also for their friends, especially if their friends are feeling down or if something bad is going on. The ESFJ is going to be one of the first responders to try and help that friend through whatever it is they're feeling. And they'll often be one of the first responders to if they see somebody in need. That is, at least if they've been, I'm going to say, brought up in a more loving, I guess, home, a more stable family where they're able to show that kindness, show that caring nature that they have. And I want to say that out of all the MBTI types, the ESFJ is probably going to be the most maternal. Even in the sense of don't piss off Mama Bear. It's kind of the same kind of deal, because the ESFJ will come after you if you hurt one of their friends. There is no escaping. You're done. So either you'll have to ask or say you're sorry, or then a wide variety of other potential things may happen. Lastly, let's see, Lastly, they are people who can be very logical and idea-based. They may not exercise it as some others, but it's why they're able to see something in details that another person hasn't seen and is able to utilize it or cause something to grow or gain wonderful insight into, like, say, interior designing or gardening. Because they know how society expects things to look, because they know how they like things to look. They can be very good when it comes to aesthetics. also due to psi, because psi is a very comfort-based function. And then you got the feeling function, which is like, okay, what feels good to me and what may feel good to others watching this and seeing this. Oh, this will look nice to others and will make me feel good and will rise up my social position. Bleh. Then I will do this. All in all, they are, once again, the people who base a lot of what they do off of society or how they believe society should be in the betterment of society. They will do things that they already know will help better society. They're a little bit different from ENFJs in that matter. Have I already done ENFJs? I think I've already done ENFJs. But if not, I will do them soon. And because they are very busybody-like, which, you know, isn't a bad thing, some people require that. Some people require the caring and sometimes even overbearing nature of the ESFJ. It's just, I'm not one of them. But that is my video on the ESFJs. I hope I've done them at least a modicum of justice. This is all based on how I perceive them and like a general overview of how I understand them. So with that being said, I believe that's it for the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and of course, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye!